What is going on? What is going on? I know it's another thing of where is Deondre at. Don't worry about that. What we need to worry about is the Lakers winning now. 9 straight. That's right. 9 straight wins for the Los Angeles Lakers. Again, this team is just continuing to prove us wrong as far as can they be legit contenders in the NBA, and all they have been doing through these past couple of weeks. They have been winning games, especially in clutch games. Lakers are now 22-6 in clutch games. And guess what? Those clutch games have been against the better opponents. We got Kennard stepping up, making big-time shots. This Lakers team is buying in defensively once again. So what is the expectation now with 11 games remaining in this NBA season for the Lakers? Can they actually secure that 3rd seed? We're going to give a deep breakdown into the Orlando Magic game. Especially, I want to show you guys some film in regards to Luke Kennard's buzzer beater. And then what the hell are the refs doing? That has to be a foul call on LeBron James. But guess what? The basketball gods were in the Lakers' favor, and they happened to pull out the win against the Orlando Magic. So we'll talk about that. Then the second half of the episode, we got some more things to talk about in regards to LeBron James. There's been some more reports in where his possible next destination will be next season, if he does return next season. But before we do any of that, you already know what we have to do. We have to talk about Pechanga Resort Casino. And you can play a perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and the casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pechanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations and for more information. First and foremost, I hope you guys had a beautiful weekend. March Madness has been rolling. There has been some wild games for NCAA March Madness. And then, of course, the Lakers just continuing to win. 105-104. A victory against a tough and gritty Orlando Magic team. Now, seeing where the standings are at and seeing where the Lakers are continuing to build off of, they're still in that 3rd seed, and they're still holding on to that 3rd seed. Now it's to the point with 11 games remaining this season. Lakers need to hold on to that 3rd seed, and they should want to get home court advantage. We got to realize that these dudes own a tiebreaker over the Rockets, over the Nuggets, over the Timberwolves. They own a tiebreaker on all 3 of those teams. And the fact that we're sitting here, once again, I have to talk about this because we were talking about what is a real scenario for this Lakers team. Are they a play-in team? Are they going to be out in the first round? Is this a gap year? All those different types of things we were discussing when it came to this Lakers team. And they somehow switched the narrative immediately through these past couple of games against teams that we thought, don't really see a real scenario of them beating them. And then once again, we keep on going. Okay, they beat the Knicks. They followed up. They're beating the Nuggets. They're beating the Timberwolves. They're beating the Rockets back-to-back. Then they go on the road on a back-to-back. They beat the Miami Heat. Okay, we did not expect LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves to play in that Miami Heat game. Luka Doncic gets you a 60-burger in a victory in Miami. Then followed up, headed to the weekend, they go up against the Orlando Magic. Another tough, grinded-out victory for the Lakers. And then now they go in tonight against the Detroit Pistons, who are going to be without Cade Cunningham. So let's see what the Lakers can do. Rui Hachimura and Marcus Smart will be out of the lineup tonight. Maxi Kleber is back into the lineup tonight per the injury report that has been put out this morning. And you look at this stretch, the Lakers' final 11 games of the regular season. At Detroit, at Indiana, versus Brooklyn, then Washington. And then they got that little stretch where it's against the Cavs, OKC. Those games are going to be tough. Dallas. And then once again, OKC. And then the rest, like the Lakers have a chance to end their season on a high note and still sustain that 3rd seed. And how things are going and how they've been playing, this team has bought in to every single thing that has been going right for them. Again, winning helps. Winning helps with this team. But the way they have been winning games is very, very impressive. You have to give credit where credit is due. But I want to talk about that play at the end for the Orlando Magic. So first, I'm going to start off with the out of bounds play drawn up for LeBron James to get a layup. Now, Lakers were down at that moment to try to take the go ahead lead or to try to tie the game up. And there was a moment where they ran a good play. LeBron James cut to the basket, and the ball ended up going out of bounds. And the referees decided not to blow the whistle. Now, when I look at this right here, this is a very, very easy call. Easy call. How in the hell is this not a foul? Look at this. Clearly, Paolo Banchero fouled LeBron James. After he did get a piece of the ball, LeBron James tried to go up, and he got a piece of his right arm. How in the hell is that not a foul call? And they go in, and you know what the referees, you know what they love to do? After a certain call like that is not called, referees like to go into that. Let's take a look at it after the game is over. Let's take a look at that after the game is over, okay? And so when they do, and they look at that and they review it, we're at the point now where let's go ahead and review that. Let's go ahead and go back. And this is a clear foul call. But you know what? It's all right. Because you know what was beneficial for the Lakers? And you know what helped them out? The ball went out of bounds. Lakers have a chance to draw something else up and see what the Orlando Magic and see if they were going to make adjustments. And I don't know what the hell the Magic were doing. I understand LeBron James got a layup. But when LeBron James cuts to the basket and there's two guarding him, and this is a perfect opportunity that we discussed as far as Luke Kennard and him being that guy and him being the one to step up. By the way, we talk about that trade. Lakers once again won that trade because if Gabe Vincent was still on his roster, who knows what this Lakers team will look like. Luke Kennard has been providing the necessary spark for this Lakers team. And you see when LeBron James cuts to the basket, the Orlando Magic send two. They double team him, all right? Because there's a little bit of confusion. Luke Kennard set a very, very good screen. You know what they always say in basketball? When you set a good screen, 9 times out of 10 will be open. And you know what the crazy thing is? Is that they zoomed in more into this. Luke Kennard was fixing his arm sleeve. He was fixing his arm sleeve before he took that shot. If you want to talk about an actual three-point shooter, the fact that he sat there and he was that wide open, able to adjust the arm sleeve a little bit, and then end up shot up like that, and you knew the moment it touched his hands. The moment it touched his hand, you knew that it was going in. Big time shot, big time role player. And that is what the Lakers acquired Luke Kennard for. We talk about him passing up shots. We talk about him like we need him to be aggressive. I know DeMarco made a funny joke last week on the show as far as Luke Kennard hitting the side of the backboard. And I'm in the same boat. Like, no, who cares? Keep on shooting the rock. That is what the Lakers acquired you for, to shoot the basketball. Now, credit to JJ Redick, and he coming out saying that it actually wasn't him that drew up the play. It was actually one of the staff members that sits behind them, and Greg St. Jean, who sits behind the Lakers, and he is the one that drew up that play for Luke Kennard to get open. I know that play was designed for LeBron James to try to get another layup attempt because the Lakers only needed 2. But when you have a secondary option and you have guys who are able to run your play efficiently, things like that happen. And Lakers are not, I want to say they're very, very fortunate when you execute. And the record shows 22-6 in clutch games. This is what has been shown as far as them being in clutch game scenarios. Now, as far as Luka Doncic, so we understand everything that's been going on with Luka Doncic, and he received his 16th technical foul during the game. He received his 16th technical foul. And He was going at the Orlando Magic center. I might butcher his name. Goga Bitadze. So there's been some things that have been discussed in as far as what happened in the interactions between him and the Orlando Magic Center. And there's some things that have been said in the interaction between him and Luka Doncic. Now, that was one of those when we did see Luka Doncic receive his 16 technical fouls. Like, I understand whatever happened, it must have triggered Luka Doncic to, say some things, to go back and forth. We know how fiery of a guy he is. He likes, when guys talk to him, because that kind of gets him fired up. It gets him motivated to go out there and kill any single person that is trying to attempt to guard him. But when he did receive that 16th technical foul, and they're going in tonight, the Detroit Pistons, and they're going to need Luka Doncic in this game tonight against the Detroit Pistons. NBA, their officials, after they did their whole review, Lakers did a plea. The NBA ended up rescinding the whole technical foul. Luka Doncic is back with his 15th technical foul. So it's a good sign. And it just shows that Luka Doncic is really right there. It takes one thing for him to say something really, really bad for him to get that 16th technical foul. Now, I'm glad that all that happened. I'm glad that it got rescinded. I'm glad that he is able to play tonight against the Detroit Pistons. I know the Pistons are going to be without Cade Cunningham, but you are going to need Luka Doncic in these last 11 games of this season. Lakers have a goal now. And you know what their goal is? Their goal is to keep that third seed. I understand the standings are still close. Lakers can still fall in between, honestly, that 3 to 6 range. But if they keep on winning games and they keep on taking care of business and they keep on playing the way that they have been doing through this 9-game winning streak, who can say how far this Lakers team can go? We brought up a good conversation on the DeMarco and Travis show, and Travis read off a list in regards to who stop, and as far as he's read down the list of teams who are going to be most likely in the Western Conference playoffs. Okay. And he was listing off teams. And he said, stop when you hear a team that you don't feel like the Lakers could possibly be in a 7-game series. And the one team that he listed off that I stopped before he was able to get to the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder was the Denver Nuggets, only because what the Nuggets have had, their Lakers numbers through these past couple seasons, especially in the playoffs. Now, as you guys are making an argument in the YouTube chat, you guys have been saying that Lakers have been better against the Denver Nuggets ever since they acquired Luka Doncic. I just feel like that's a matchup the Lakers should want to try to avoid. I know it's hard, knowing how close the standings are. It's easier said than done. But we talk about matchups and who the Lakers could possibly be favorable matchup for them in the first round. Remember, just the first round. You want to try to get the Houston Rockets. You want to, and again, if the Houston Rockets are going to be winning games and the other teams in the West, like the T-Wolves or the Nuggets, are going to continue to lose some, then it makes it harder for the matchups and stuff like that. As of right now, I do believe the Minnesota Timberwolves are still in that 6 range, but it could easily fall between Denver, Minnesota, Houston. But only thing the Lakers' priority and what it should be is keep on winning games, take care of business, and go about it the right way, and play good, hard-nosed basketball. We're finally seeing energy and effort from all their guys that come in and out of the lineup. And it is finally, we're sitting here and we're like, this is actually fun to watch. We're like, it's actually good for me to come on Lakers Talk Daily and talk to you guys and be like, instead of, oh, the Lakers lose again, or Lakers had a terrible night. What's going on with DeAndre Ayton? Why is the trio of LeBron, Luka, and Austin, why can't they click? No, it's actually different. We have been going these past couple of days, and they look really good. Oh, they look even better. And they just keep on finding new ways to, get better as a team. And this is all you can ask for at this point of the season. We always talk about it. When you're to play good basketball at this time, you're peaking at the right time. once again, regular season, different. It's very, very different come playoff time. And all we can ask for is for them to carry this momentum into the playoffs. So we'll talk a little more about this. We'll slow down a little bit. There's been some more news. I know you guys love talking about this guy and LeBron James. There's been some more news about that. And also to read some more stuff off to you guys in the YouTube chat. I'm going to present some things to see you guys and what you guys have some comments to say about that. But before we do any of that, I have to let my partners at Pachanga give you guys a quick word.
At Pachanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
What is going on? And welcome back to Lakers Talk Daily. Lakers defeated Orlando Magic 105-104 over the weekend off of a Luke Kennard buzzer beater 3. Lakers are just continuing to play good basketball. And it's good to see the trio of LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves actually working and actually doing a good job on the basketball court together. You see the spacing, and you see how they're actually able to play off of each other. Was I having concerns about it? Yes. Luka Doncic did not have a very efficient scoring night. Austin Reeves did not really have a really efficient scoring night. LeBron James, 5 of 13 shooting. But the defense and DeAndre Ayton, I'm going to keep on praising him. When you play well, you got to keep on giving those praises. Getting 12 rebounds. But in those last 2 minutes of that game, going down that clutch scenario, DeAndre Ayton was getting key offensive rebounds and getting second chance opportunities for the Los Angeles Lakers. Those are winning plays, and you're impacting the basketball court in those ways. If you do that, you're impacting it in a different way, and that leads to winning and being successful. You can complain about him having that role as far as Clint Capella, but ever since he acknowledged his role, and ever since he said that he looked himself in the mirror and said that he is not that guy and has done the little things like that, you see the Lakers team and they're able to go off into a whole different level. Meaning, what was the big reason why the Lakers struggled last year, especially in the playoffs? They had no big man. Now you actually have a big man who role the Lakers essentially needed was a guy who can have a little bit of synergy with Luka Doncic, and meaning that like an actual connection, being able to roll hard to the basket and be ready for a lob, but also being that back end defender, someone who can protect the rim and rebound the basketball. If you do those things, you can play on the basketball court with Luka and Austin Reeves. They don't need you to be that guy to try to go out there and score. If you can be in certain spots and be ready to score, then that's different. But once he realized that he can be effective on the basketball court, but not needing to be that scorer, this Lakers team has been they looked a lot different with him. But to slow down, to kind of do a little bit more of a transition, talking about LeBron James and seeing how this Lakers team has been winning, knowing that they have been on a winning streak, the biggest question is, where is he going to end up after this season? And it sucks because Lakers have been playing good basketball, and there's no reason to have a conversation like this, but this is where I present this to you guys, those of you listening to Lakers Talk Daily. I'm going to ask you guys this in the YouTube chat because seeing how LeBron James has been playing and him buying into that role. All right, and what is that role, you guys might ask? The role as far as there's no need for you to be that one-on-one guy, take guys off the dribble, understanding that if Luka Doncic is your primary scorer, understand that Austin Reeves is the secondary and going to get his looks after Luka Doncic, and you can be the third usage player, we can take this team to a whole different direction. Compared to earlier this season, it was, all right, you try to go one-on-one. All right, you try to go one, or all right, I'm going to come down this possession. I'm going to try to get my look. And then it was, okay, it was too much being too unselfish. And then there was points where it's too selfish, where guys are standing and watching. It's not the case now. Ever since him taking in this role, let's make sure we specify this. He's not a role player. He just took on a role to help out the rest of this team. So Tim McMahon went on the Hoop Collective podcast, where you can catch Brian Windhorst on. You know, Wendy, who comes on Wendy Wednesdays here on the Sedano and Cat Morning Show. And he says LeBron is thriving in that role. And if you have told me late February, hey, LeBron might actually be back in LA, which Brian Windhorst always tried to leave wiggle room and I never wanted to hear it, I'll listen now. They're enjoying each other. The chemistry has done a 180. It has. The chemistry has done a 180. It's good to see them actually smiling. It's good to see them actually laughing. It's good to see them in the huddle communicating and telling each other, you need to be at this spot. And they're able to hold each other accountable, understanding that they can possibly have a goal and make it as far as they can in the Western Conference playoffs. Because late February, we were not having this discussion with this Lakers team. We were literally considering them being a first-round exit team. Now the narrative has changed. They have done a 180. You start to see them getting out and run and playing inspiring basketball. Guys have bought into their roles. You got a guy in Marcus Smart who is your defensive anchor. You got a guy in Deondre Ayton who's understanding that he can play that Clint Capella role, but excel at it even at a higher degree. You have guys understanding that Luka and Austin Reeves are going to get their looks. They need to get at least 20 to 30. 20 to 30. 20 to 30 shot attempts, right? Okay, cool. And then you look at LeBron James being that third high usage player. Cool. All those things added up and they led to success on the basketball court. So knowing that and knowing how LeBron James has thrived in that role and knowing how this team has elevated the game since LeBron James has got put into that role and he accepted that role, would you guys be willing to have LeBron James return to this Lakers team? And I know you guys are going to say, well, depending on how much Lakers can sign LeBron James for. I only want LeBron James to be a vet minimum guy. And his game's going to change going into next season, taking into consideration that he's going to get older. And you got to take care of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, putting the right pieces around them. When I say pieces, 3-and-D wings, like we always discuss. You're going to need another big man. As I know Deondre Ayton has been playing really, really well, but you are going to need another big man. But if we're seeing the success right now and them winning 9 straight and they're able to do a 180, should the Lakers consider bringing LeBron James back? And his role could possibly change going into next season, depending on who they do bring in. I just want to see your guys' thoughts. I do believe if he was to be brought in as a vet minimum guy, depending on who you do get, hell, possibly see him coming off. And I know you guys might be like, oh, LeBron is never going to come off the bench. Depending on who they get, they do get the right 3-and-D guy. They do get another spot-up shooter. They do get another rim protector. And you do see LeBron James like, okay, there might not be a real fit for you to be in that starting rotation, but can you imagine LeBron James being that valuable, veteran-minded guy off the bench with the team that you finally can build the right team around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves? And I know it's going to be hard because you got to take in consideration also that if it is LeBron James last year, the center, the attention, all that thing is going to be directed at him. But it's crazy because we have been having that same conversation late February. The tension and narrative has been literally about LeBron James. We don't see no real clear path for this Lakers team. And they have been proving all of us wrong. Now, to see what you guys have been saying and seeing in the YouTube chat, just kind of read some stuff off. Epic Wolf says, just because Laker fans want LeBron to be gone doesn't mean LeBron haters. And I'm not saying that, Tim. I'm not saying that these Laker fans right now are LeBron haters. I'm just going in because we had that narrative that the Lakers can't build if LeBron James is still around. They can't put the right team around if LeBron James is still going to continue to be on this team. But we have been seeing success on the basketball court. We have been seeing that this trio actually has been working. We have been seeing the ball movement looking good. We have been seeing the player movement looking good. Hell, We haven't seen the defense. Now, that's another thing. Hopefully it's sustainable going into the postseason. But we haven't seen the defense even being elevated with the trio on the same court at the same time. We thought the notion of staggering their minutes, they should continue to roll with that. And they have been doing. But this Lakers team, they have been playing really good basketball. And they're one of the best in the NBA as far as record-wise. They are one of the better teams in the second half of the season. And you got to take in, okay, Jay brings up a good point. Does LeBron help you win or lose? Is LeBron playing like a six-man? If he is playing like a six-man, that's telling me the Lakers were able to sign and acquire the right pieces around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. And LeBron James, if he is willing to do something like that, because we never thought he would be willing to be a third usage player, and he did that, maybe we can see a different thing of this Lakers team and him and having the option to bring him back. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, to have my stance, if he wants more than a vet minimum and he's gonna take a lot of money on, and he's not gonna have the understanding that they still need to build for the future, then that's something you're like, okay, you have to really, really take in your thoughts and like, we're not gonna sign you for that much money because LeBron James has been a maximum contract player for a lot of years. Now, you could take in the new ownership group, like David is saying, that new ownership will want LeBron will want to move on from LBJ. That is another thing we have to also keep in mind. Is the Buss family and how they operated, it was all in timeline with LeBron James. This new ownership group with Mark Walter and Andrew Friedman, they're trying to get into that place. And right now is we need to build around Luka Doncic. We need to build everything possible to bring good product on the basketball court because we don't want to just be a team for the present. We also want to try to build for the future. You can have those options as well. And I love this comment too from Brian in the YouTube chat. And this is where we can have another comparison too, as far as the team vibes are like how it was in the year 2020. We got them out here golfing. Luka, Austin Reeves, LeBron, JJ, a couple of Lakers coaching staff. The vibes are great. And hopefully they can continue this for the rest of the season. And hopefully we can see these same types of vibes going into the postseason. Winning does help. Winning does help. And knowing how the vibes were in that 2020 team and how they were together, how they communicated, how they played hard for one another, how they all had the same common goal, and that was to what? Win a championship. And LeBron James making comments, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, they really, really feel like this team can make some noise. They really, really feel like this team has enough to contend for a championship. Now, if those vibes were to stay like that, and hopefully they do, that is a great comparison. Because look at that 2020 team with Howard, McGee, Rondo, Caruso, Kuzma, LeBron, AD, Danny Green. A great team. They're built really, really well to have success going to that postseason. That Lakers team was dominating throughout the whole entire season. So that narrative that everyone likes to say that whatever. We need to those people, you got to understand that Lakers team was dominating the whole entire season. Now, this Lakers team, the vibes are similar. They didn't start picking it up till early March. But this is good basketball. This is 9 wins in a row now. There's no more. We can't move the needle no more. All that moving the needle, it's really, really starting to get out the window. Because being third seed in the Western Conference and beating those teams that we consistently win in and like, nah, Lakers can't beat them. And they have. The narrative has changed. And with 11 games remaining, Lakers have a chance to end their season on a high note. And we have to be excited for the playoffs to see what this team can actually do. But they got the Detroit Pistons tonight. Detroit Pistons who are going to be without Cade Cunningham. The Lakers are also going to be without their energy, their effort, their defensive anchor, and Marcus Smart, and they will be without Rui Hachimura. Can the Lakers actually make it 10 straight? 10 straight. Because if they get this and they go win Indiana, all of a sudden we can look at them being 6-0 on the road trip when I thought that they can possibly go 4-2. I came on here and told you guys I believe Lakers need to get at least 4 wins, and they already have done that. They're ending this road. They got to end this road trip on a high note and continue to build off their momentum. But for you guys in the YouTube chat, as always, thank you guys for tuning in all the time to Lakers Talk Daily. I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. We will recap tonight's game against the Detroit Pistons, and we're just gonna have to see, can the Lakers continue to roll with this momentum for the 11 remaining games this season. But for myself and my guys in the back holding it down in the social room, I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. We out.